Thelema Coast to Coast, Show 25, April 26, 2006. Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Welcome to Thelema Coast to Coast. My name is John Crow and I'm the host of the show. I want to welcome everybody to the 1-year anniversary show of Thelema Coast to Coast. That's right. Thelema Coast to Coast has been on the air for over a year now. Actually, we celebrated the 1-year anniversary on April 24th, but due to scheduling, I couldn't release a show on that date, so that's why I picked today, the 26th. So welcome to the show. And I want to thank everybody who has really made this possible, especially the listeners and the guests. If it wasn't for everybody participating in this and giving feedback and coming on the show and talking about the Thelemic culture, there would be no Thelema Coast to Coast. So thanks to everybody who made this possible. And I appreciate the trust that you all have put in me, and I will do my best to make sure Thelema Coast to Coast is around for another year and that it just gets better and better and better. If you want to get in touch with the show, there are a number of ways to do so. The easiest is going to the Thelema Coast to Coast website, and that's www.thelemacoasttocoast.com. On the site is a feedback form. You can fill that out and send it in. Or you can send an email to podcast@thelemacoasttocoast.com. You can also call the listener line and leave a message. That number is area code 206-600-4216. And if you want to use the old-fashioned mail, you can write to Thelema Coast to Coast, care of John Crow, C-R-O-W, P.O. Box 7045, Marietta, Georgia, M-A-R-I-E-T-T-A, Georgia, 30065, and that's in the USA. Also, I am still doing the promotions for the Thelema Coast to Coast bumper stickers. I've gone through about half of them now, so I have about 50 or 60 left. Actually, I guess I've gone through a little more than half of them. So if you want to get a Thelema Coast to Coast bumper sticker, all you have to do is send a postcard to the address that I just gave a little bit ago. And the postcards that you send will be scanned in and put on the Thelema Coast to Coast website. You can go on the site right now and see dozens that I've received. And in return, I will send you a bumper sticker. Can't get any easier than that. So send something out. Also, because I released Show 23 and Show 24, parts 1 through 3, so close together, some of you who get the show via the RSS feed may not have gotten the last few shows. I'm noticing some disparity in the downloads, and I just want to make people aware that they can either go through the RSS feeds and go back to the previous shows, or you can go directly to the website. In particular, I really want to highlight Show 23. I think it's one of the best that I've ever done, and I talk about a lot of really good information on there, and as well as having a number of good interviews. So if you haven't listened to Show 23, I strongly recommend that you go back to do it. Okay, on today's show, I'm going to have an interview with Keith 418. We're going to be talking about Liber E, Crowley's text, and also have an interview with Eddie Minzenmayer. He is the owner and operator of Latex Records, the company who's been giving a whole bunch of CDs to the podcast to give away, and the music that I've been playing. I'm going to be having a bunch of feedback and also talk about a few other things that are on my mind. So first, let's get into the feedback. I've received pretty decent amount, so thanks to everybody who has emailed, and also I've received a number of voicemail messages. So what I'm going to do is intermix the emails that I'm reading with the voicemails that I've received. The first email is from a James. He says, "Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Hi, greetings from England. Just been listening to podcast 23. I want to say well done and thanks. You're doing a great job. I know there are plenty of other Thelemites out there who, like me, are not members of the OTO or any other magical order. I would like to contact like-minded people in north of England, maybe arrange a get-together or whatever. I could be contacted via Frapper. Loves the law, love under will. James." So if there are any listeners in the north part of England who would like to get together with James and just a bunch of other Thelemites, give me a holler, and I will give you James's email address, and you all can get together up in the north of England. So thanks for emailing, James, and I hope some people contact you. Here is the first of our voicemails.
93, Mr. Crow. Stephen in Massachusetts, and I am calling you to thank you for all the hard work that you've done over the last year. I know that you have really poured a lot of work into this, and I especially want to thank you for the past 3 episodes you did on the writing of the Book of the Law. I have not stopped listening to them constantly in my car that is playing over and over and over. And I just felt that I needed to take a moment out of my day to thank you for all the hard work you've done. So I hope to hear the podcast that is coming up in a few days, and thank you, and 93.
Stephen, you're very welcome. Thanks for the feedback, and I'm glad you liked the 3 days podcasts. I was really pleased with them myself. The next email is from Mitch up in Canada. He won a CD, and he also sent in for a Thelema Coast to Coast sticker. 93, John, just wanted to acknowledge the reception of the CD you sent me for winning the podcast draw. I also got the Thelema Coast to Coast sticker a few weeks ago for sending in the postcard. I was very impressed by the letter accompanying the sticker and the card with a quote from Liber E that came with the CD. Like the quality of the podcast, this attention to detail denotes your dedication to this project. Again, thank you for taking the time to make a difference promoting Thelema, setting a high benchmark for Thelemites everywhere. In light, Mitch, 93. Well, Mitch, thank you very much for the feedback. I'm glad that you got everything. I hope you're enjoying the CD. And I also want to thank you, since you were the one who helped me get a copy of the first day of the Book of the Law recording. So many thanks to you, too. I'm glad you liked the show, and thanks for your support. Now I'll play the second voicemail.
This is Johnson from Virginia. Happy birthday, Thelema Coast to Coast. I can't wait for the terrible twos.
Thank you very much, Johnson. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I appreciate the voicemail. The next email is from Evan, and he says, "John, do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Just a note to thank you for the presentation of the 3 chapters, particularly the rendition of the 3rd chapter, which I had not previously heard. Along the same lines, and perhaps of interest to you and your listeners, Robbie Robb et al. Recorded a rendition of Aka Dua Mantra on Quiet Table, 1999, the second release from 3 Fish. It is track number 12 on that release, titled Chantrius. Blessings and worship to the Prophet of the Lovely Star. Thanks again. Love is the law, love under will." Well, thank you for that information, Evan. I have not heard that, or in fact, when I was speaking with Khalil Khan, he did not tell me about that. So thanks for the mention of it, and I appreciate the feedback. And I, too, particularly love the 3rd chapter rendition that was done. Okay, here is the next voicemail.
Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Hey, John, this is Frater Nove Res. Just wanted to say that I've been listening to your show since the first episode came on a year ago, and I wanted to say that you're doing a fantastic job and to keep it up. Love is the law, love under will.
Thanks for the support, Nova Res. I appreciate the voicemail and you listening for so long. The next email came from Chris on MySpace. For those who don't know, Thelema Coast to Coast has a MySpace page. It is www.myspace.com/Thelema Coast to Coast. Very easy to get to. There are already almost 300 people friended on it. So if you have a MySpace page and want to hook up, I do put the notices about when the new podcasts come out on the MySpace page, so you can subscribe to the blog there and get a notice about when the new shows are available. But Chris sent a message saying, absolutely enjoyed the April 10th podcast. The reading and music was incredible and perfect listening for my Friday afternoon. I've been listening to the last few weeks. I think I've heard about 4 different podcasts and am most impressed. Keep up the good work. Thanks for the email, Chris. I really appreciate it, and encourage you to go back and take a listen to all 24 shows. Actually, I guess there's more than that if you consider all the parts and the outtakes and things like that, but 24 numbered shows, so I hope you go back and take a listen to all those and enjoy them. So now let's get into the next voicemail.
Hi, John. We really appreciate Thelema Coast to Coast and hope to hear more. 93.
Thank you very much for the feedback and the voicemail. You're very welcome, and I'll keep doing as many podcasts as I can. All right. The next email is from Eric in Panama. He has emailed before. He says, 93 John, my name is Eric from Panama, Central America. I just wanted to congratulate you on the first anniversary of your podcast and also give you a heartfelt thank you for the great work you accomplished by making it. I consider myself an aspiring Thelemite still working on my true will. I really value the healthy criticisms you and Keith 418 discuss and also your comments on the great potential of the OTO. As a Mason, I can vouch in favor of dues because of their benefits to the organization far outweigh any perceived problems, and do hope one day to join and participate fully in the OTO, to grow within it, and to help it grow too, especially helping it to manifest in Malkuth, the Blue Equinox model. Also, after listening to the comments regarding the search of a teacher, could you please do a podcast focused on the AA, history, mechanics, actual state, etc.? Please keep it up, and let's hope for many more anniversaries to celebrate with your show. 93. Well, thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate that. Appreciate the feedback and the well wishes. As for the AA, that is a great suggestion, and actually one that I've already looked into a little. I've tried to get a few people from the AA that I know in the higher structures of the AA on the podcast, and unfortunately those requests have been declined. So if there is anybody in the AA, and I'm looking for more of the higher level administrative levels and the higher degrees, I actually do know quite a few people at the student and neophyte and zealoter levels, but I'm looking for a little higher than that. If anybody from the AA is interested in being on the show and talking about the AA structure and so forth, I would be more than happy to have them on the show. If you're listening, send me an email and we'll make arrangements. But Eric, thanks again for your feedback. And now we'll move on to the next voicemail.
Hi, John. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Rick Perlstein here, with New Aeon Camp, OTO in Tampa. First off, thank you so much for all the work you've done in producing and hosting Thelema Coast to Coast. I know how much work it takes to put together a quality show, and man, you are providing a great service to the Thelema community, and I know of a whole lot of folks like myself who can't wait until each new episode is released. So, again, thanks for that. Second, major kudos for the Holy Days episodes, brother. Not only to you, though, John, but also to all the folks who performed and produced and otherwise had anything to do with the creation of these recordings. At our celebration here at New Aeon, we played the episode during our feasting, and all of us were just flat out impressed with the quality of all of it. So, lastly, thanks for the nice things you said about us on episode 22. We love visitors here, as you know, John, and if any listeners are planning to visit the Tampa area, please contact us. You can reach us through the website. Anyway, thanks again, John, for all you do, man. I can't wait to see you here soon. Love is the law. Love under will.
Thanks for the feedback, Rick, and thanks for the invite. I don't know when I'll be getting down to Tampa next, but maybe it'll be sometime this summer, and I'll get to enjoy the nice weather down there on the beach. Anybody else going to Tampa, make sure that you email New Aeon Camp and try and hook up with a group down there. They're really a good bunch of people. The next email is from someone who goes by the name Isle93. It says, 93, the name Thelema Coast to Coast. Well, wouldn't it be more correct to call it Thelema Worldwide? I think this project could evolve way beyond the U.S. coast. You already have listeners around the globe. Maybe in the future there could be a